Welcome to the Settle Your Side Hustle podcast. I started this podcast for one very simple reason, and that is to show you what it's like to actually start a business. Going from a side hustle business that I'm doing while working the 9 to 5 to being full-time in my business, living the life that I want, controlling my time, controlling my hours. And the number one problem that I had with every podcast I listen to on the market is that either A, they don't actually get down to the nitty-gritty. They're not transparent with you, telling you about their actual struggles. Or B, they've already made it, so there aren't struggles to share. And that's why I decided to start this podcast right here, right now, as I've just transitioned into full-time entrepreneurship, so I can actually share with you the struggles as I go through them, and you can learn from my experiences while you're growing your business alongside me. Now, let's get into the show. What is up, side hustlers, entrepreneurs, business builders, and dream makers? Welcome to the Settle Your Side Hustle podcast, episode 19. Today, I want to have a conversation with you about something that most business owners are sleeping on constantly. It's not new, it's not exciting, it's not the fastest, coolest trend, but it is consistently something that every business owner that I talk to sleeps on that could be adding untold zeros to your bottom line. So this is something myself, I slept on it for years. I really didn't get on board until honestly this physical year. But it's something that I was doing for my clients before I started doing it for myself. It's something that every business owner should be on, because when you talk about marketing and you talk about return on investment, this is still today in 2023 the highest return on investment for any marketing channel on average that exists on planet Earth. Highest return for investment is still email marketing. Still gets us a 36-to-1 return on investment on average if you know how to do it. And so, like I said, not exciting, not new. It's literally email, the thing that, was the first communication tool of the internet. It's 20 years old, more than, right? So, but everybody sleeps on it. Nobody takes it seriously. And here's the deal, guys. Here's why email is important. Okay. Say that you are building an audience. Say you're building an audience on a podcast. Say you're building an audience on YouTube. Say you're building an audience on social media. Say that you're building an audience on TikTok. Say that you're building an audience on a blog. Okay. What of everything that I just listed is yours? Right? Facebook, if you're on Facebook, they can shut down your account. They can ban your ad account. They can shut down your personal account. They can destroy your audience by flipping a switch if they decide that they don't want you on their platform anymore, either because you've blatantly violated terms or because there was enough promiscuity around you, became big enough, and Facebook can do whatever they want. They have the right to shut down your account whenever they want. So does Instagram. They're the same people. So does YouTube. So does every other social media platform on the planet. This podcast is going out on Spotify. It's on my YouTube channel. That's it. That's all for its current distribution. But I could be on Apple Podcasts, right? I could be on iHeartRadio. I could be on every podcatcher on the planet, and each and every one of them could still decide to shut down my account. They could say, no, we don't want you on our platform anymore. And they have that right. It's following, like, I agreed to their terms. I agreed that they can kick me off their platform whenever they want. So everything I just named doesn't give you ownership of your audience, but your email list is ownership of your audience. And you might be saying, well, Devin, that's true, but like, MailChimp and ActiveCampaign and Aweber, those guys can all shut you down too. They can decide that they don't want to support you anymore, but they cannot take your email list from you, right? You at all of those platforms, you have the option to download your list off of them, and you can own that list. And that is the only thing that is truly yours and truly safe. And as long as you have a way to connect with your audience, nobody can shut you down permanently. You can find a new platform, and then you can tell your email list where you're migrating to, right? So you can, this is how you stay ahead. So those are two reasons right there on why you should be building your email list. One, it is the only way to own an audience that we have available to us. And two, it gets the highest return on investment of any marketing strategy that exists today. That's still true in 2023. So now let's transition over a little bit to that's the why you should have an email list. Now, how do you use that email list, right? Well, obviously you want to build a good lead magnet. or tripwire offer, or find a way for people to get into the email list initially, and you want them to willingly opt into it, right? So for me, for example, I have the list of the 50 proven side hustles that you can start with just a laptop, the checklist of the 11 tools you need to start growing your business online, and access to my Facebook group where I'm doing weekly live trainings on how to build your business, all for free on one link in the description of this video, actually. And that is where you go if you want to join my email list, right? You join the email list and then you get all those goodies. So that's an example of something that we would call a lead magnet, something that you can join in, you opt into the email list for free, and then you get all these goodies that make it worth it for you, right? So you need a great killer lead magnet or a tripwire. Tripwire is same principle, except this time you have a very cheap product that they buy, maybe a free plus shipping offer. I actually have this necklace that for a Christian niche, I gave out to 927 people over the course of a year, who then were also all on the email list, right? So I grew an email list of paying customers in 1 year that way. That was pretty cool. So that's how you build the email list, is by offering something of amazing value so that people willingly join the email list, right? And then it's just marketing and promoting that thing. Now, what do I do on the email list, right? So how do I get the money back from the email list? Well, you're going to do this with two basic strategies. One is what we would call an evergreen sequence, and the other one is what we would call regular email blasts. So your evergreen sequence should be something in the neighborhood of like 30 days long. You want it to be a month-long email sequence. And then, you play it where you're like, first 3 to 5 are giving them what they asked for, adding value with no ask of them. Thank you for coming to the community. And just you give so that you get people in the habit of opening, reading, and interacting with your emails, because they realize that every time you send an email, it's valuable. Okay? That's first 3 to 5. And then the next 5 to 7, do your first promotion. Your first promotion is going to be for like the next step on your value ladder. If this was free, then this is going to be the $27 product or the $97 product. It's the next step on your value ladder. And you do a 5 to 7 day promotion of this where you're building it up, and then a couple of days you promote it with the link. Right? Then the next 5 to 7 are the next promotion, which is for the next step on your value ladder. And then you do that again for step 3, you do that again for step 4. However many steps you have on your value ladder, you just repeat that process. And then if you're doing it right, you're adding real value in these emails. People love reading them. They're learning a lot from them. And then a couple of them are saying, do you want to buy this thing that will go deeper into the same concept? That's how you do those promotions. So people love reading your emails and they started giving you money. Then you get to the end of your 30-day sequence or your 90-day sequence or whatever it is, how long you can keep that up, depending on how many steps are on your value ladder. And then you just go ahead and you transition them out of this automated evergreen sequence. You put a tag on them so that they transfer to a new list. And then this is the list that you send your email blasts to. And then you do a daily email blast. Daily, every single day, you do an email blast. And you do, every single one of them has a call to action. Every single one of them tells people to do something, but only somewhere between 20 to 40% of those call to actions are saying, pay me. Right? So sometimes it's just share this, watch this, here's this YouTube video, click on this link. And then 20 to 40% of the time, you say, okay, now send me money to buy this thing, right? And so you do a daily email blast. Okay, well, what do I write about? Write about simple, mundane things that happen. So what's something simple, mundane, and trivial that's happened in the last 24 hours, right? I talked to you guys about this on a recent episode. It's how you create new content, right? So question 1 is what's something simple, mundane that's happened in the last 24 hours. Question 2 is what's a lesson in there that my audience can get from it. Then you write down that story. And then if you want them to buy, then you do a transition into how this relates to the product or the offer that you're pitching. And then you send out the email, and that's it. So you follow these strategies, and honestly, traffic source is a big part. We didn't talk about traffic source today. We're not going to, but if you're promoting your lead magnet or your tripwire to your audience, then you should be growing your list quite rapidly. And what you're going to see as a general rule of thumb across all industries, is different specific industries, roughly speaking, once you hit a critical mass point for your audience size, you'll start to see that on average, every email subscriber is about $1 of additional revenue per month to your business. Right? So, you're throwing out these offers that are whatever your price points are, and you're going to be seeing, oh, well, most people don't take most offers most of the time. A very small percentage of people take a very small percentage of the offers, a very small percentage of the time. And over the course of a month where I've sent out 20 email blasts and I've had 300 people go through my sequence, well, I've actually ended up making like, oh, cool, made $2,000 for my email list this month, And as your list grows, that number grows with it. All right, guys, before we sign off, I have a free invitation for you. This is normally the part of the episode where I tell you about my really cool lead magnet that I mentioned earlier, but that's not what I'm going to talk about right now. Instead, I'm actually going to invite you to doing something that's coming up very soon, in 4 days, actually. I mentioned earlier in the episode how I was able to get 927 people to buy a necklace from me. Those people were subscribers. So I want to do a cool training on Monday. Right now, this is Thursday. On Monday, the 8th, 10 a.m. MST, I'm doing a live training inside my Facebook group on how to get your first 927 customers, where I'm going to pull back the curtain. I'm going to teach everything that I did with this offer and how you can replicate it and build your own business, even if you don't have one yet. So if that's interesting to you, I have a link in the description that actually gives you the ability to register for that free event. Monday, May 8th at 10 a.m. MST in 2023. If you're listening to this and that date is already passed, I'm sorry. Option is no longer available for you because it is a live training. That's all I got for you guys today. I'll talk to you tomorrow. God bless.